Haki Africa is implementing a project on climate justice for human security under Jumuika Sikika that is sponsored and supported by ForumCiv. The project is for 3 years and it started in March 2023. And we are implementing in 3 project counties, that is Lamu, Mombasa and Taita Taveta. Basically what this project is trying to do is to enable the community, first of all, to understand the issues of climate and environmental justice, injustices, and also to get to see how these are affecting their human security. By doing so also we are trying to nurture into the cultural norms and systems of the community here at the coast to adapt the issue of planting trees, to do like environmental conservation and all those things. And Haki Africa has come up with a very unique, let me say modern methodology of doing this by starting the urban green corridors.
Mradi huu umewezesha kuja katika mashinani na umeweza kuwa mradi wa manufaa katika jamii, maana masuala ya climate, it's not something that the community embrace ama the community understand. These are things that these are matters that the community think it's not for their reach, because it is hard for the community to understand climate and them how to implement them and take them in as community. So this project has been like a bridge for the climate actors and the community to understand one another, to show the community where they can help and where they can come in, ili kusaidia jamii yote, ili tuweze kuendeleza kuwa na jamii nchi nzuri. So matters of climate change katika jamii imechukuliwa positively because huu mradi umeweza kusimplify ama kuleta lugha ambayo mwananchi wa kawaida ama kijana kule mtaani anapoelezwa anaweza elewa masuala ya climate. Jinsi gani wanapopanda miti inawasaidia vipi kuliko ile kasumba ambayo hukua ya kwamba climate ni masuala ambayo hayatuhusu wala hayatuwezi kutuaffect sisi kama jamii.
After the president announced that we need to be planting millions of trees in the country, people didn't take it like it's something that it's mandated to the community, but more of it to be the government role to be doing so. So through the project that is funded, the Jumuika Sikika, we've managed to first of all create awareness to the community on what the president is really trying to look at. And by doing so, we've managed to plant over 2,000 trees. In Mombasa, 6,000 trees in Taita Taveta, and in Lamu we've managed to plant over 1,500 mangroves. That basically is to show people that it is important for us to take this initiative forward, and it's not only a directive by the president to the government officials but to the community.
The project we are implementing here is called Inclusive Climate Change Adaptation Project, which is funded by ForumCiv. The focus of the project is to improve adaptive capacities of the communities in Nyando, particularly persons with disabilities, to effects of climate change and be able to respond to disasters which culminate as a result of climate change within their communities, so that they are well prepared and organized in a manner that they are safe, particularly the persons with disability households. Since the beginning of the project, we have managed to engage the communities, most of whom were persons with disabilities, in a number of interventions. One, we started with a strong contact engagement with the stakeholders, where we had the senior government officers, we had the civil society organizations, we had the organizations of persons with disabilities. Other civil society organizations also participated in the inception meetings that we held. And therefore this gave us a strong buy-in. And one key point that to note is that the county government of Kisumu really supported this project.
As an able differently person, that is the word, we have gained knowledge on climate change in terms of how it affects us. For a long time, you see an able differently person in terms of mobility. Like this gentleman cannot drive all the way from where he comes from when it is muddy. An albino person will have visual problems when there's a lot of heat. So those are some of the impacts we have seen which are caused by climate impacts. Those ones we have learned through Andy. And also importantly, we have also learned that resources that we use must be used prudently. That's why now people are now learning to do rainwater harvesting. You know, it is very, very hypocritical to see that at times it floods and water goes to the drain. And at times it is so dry that we need that water. That water should have been saved so that it is used when it is needed. We have learned that from Andy.
We can see how the situation was before is people never used to understand issues to do with climate. They never even thought it's an issue in the first place. So we managed to sensitize and also educate the community on what is climate change. What does it affect? How is it even contributing to our day-to-day lives? And as community, what is our role? That way, it has also enabled people to right now be cognizant of the fact that they should not be littering around, they should not be using plastic bottles, and if they have, then they can recycle. But then also each and every person should be planting at least in the minimum 1 tree at a certain period of time.
We're also looking at environmental conservation. So we have had forums, local community forums, where we are discussing the importance of environmental conservation. And in this aspect, we are really focusing more on planting of trees. And in planting of trees, we are also looking at the value of indigenous trees, which are soil conserving in nature.
County government had started the Department of Environmental and Climate Justice. But then these departments, they didn't have clear picture of what they need to do. So we've sold our ideas to them, and what we can affirm is right now, Lamu has set aside some resources to continue with the green urban corridors. Mombasa has also identified areas that they are going to give us. Lamu, they've offered to give us 5 acres of land where we are going to do the corridors. And in Taita Taveta, they have given us the leeway of planting trees in all the schools in Taita Taveta. So before, that was not there. But right now, what we can say, it is a start where we have seen the goodwill of both partners and the stakeholders, but then also the community have embraced the issues of climate change.
Mradi huu unaonekana kuwa wa manufaa katika jamii, maana tunapata kuona jamii imeanza kujitokeza, jamii imeanza kuelewa masuala haya. We saw matters of climate being taken in hotels and offices whereby there are so much English there, na kwa kijana wa kawaida kule mtaani kuanalyze ama kuelewa masuala ya climate ilikuwa ni ngumu. Lakini mradi huu umeweza kumfanya ule kijana, umerahisisha lugha ya climate kwa ule kijana ili kumueleza in a layman language how they can understand and how they can come in and help this project. Mradi huu bado umekuwa na manufaa zaidi katika jamii. Kwanza, unaona kama Junda, kuna community ambayo imejitolea kuzoa takataka kila Jumapili without anybody paying them ama giving them any tokens. Why? Because it's something that this project has been brought to them. They understand the importance of a clean environment and how it will help them and not affect them. So, tunaona mradi huu ukiendelea kufanya himizo hili ama kuendeleza msisitizo huu, it is going to get more community members, more stakeholders coming together. Itafanya mradi uwe na manufaa mengi na bora zaidi katika jamii.
Moving forward, we really want to think beyond the 3 years scope of the project and see to it how best can we nurture and tap into the local resources and opportunities around, working closely with the county government. We want to strengthen the groups of persons with disabilities so that they remain stronger and be able to start influencing the leadership, participate effectively in governance, and be able also to mobilize their own resources. And this is a strategy towards sustainability of the project.
Mradi huu una manufaa tayari na tumeona kwamba una promises zenye zinaonekana, lakini kuna masuala mengine ambayo tungefanya ama tungependekeza yaendelee kufanywa ingekuwa bora zaidi. Jambo la kwanza, information is not coming down to the people. Matters of climate change are not coming to the common mwananchi ambaye anakuwa affected na masuala kama haya. Masuala haya yanafaa yatolewe kwa vitabu na yaletwe kwa ground ambao people can understand, because if it says in the office, people will do whatever they want to do and they will never understand. Another thing that I would recommend is, can we start nurturing the young kids on understanding on matters of climate? Can we make it maybe a syllabus probably? Or even if it's not a syllabus, make it like a topic in the school, a club in the school that can speak to the young kids on matters about climate. Can we put resources in school kids that they're growing for them to understand?
What we want to achieve is to ensure that our country has turned green. We've also managed to control our climate effect, and at the same time we enjoy the nature of having enough trees within the country.